one of the longest 7 soundtracks of Ghanaian broadcast radio. This is the Joy Sports track. So let's go by Trick Daddy. And let's go into the show today. Hello, I'm Gary Al Smith, chippy and cheery as always on a Monday afternoon. Today, in particular, we're excited because finally, after lots of cajoling and, asking him and him saying no, CK Akono finally speaks to Joy News. In his first official interview since getting the job, he speaks on several issues. You are going to hear his take on Kevin Prince Boateng, who said last week Thursday that he would like to play for the Black Stars again, but would the coach want him back? Do you want Kevin back? We've spoken about this on Friday already, so you know what our views are, but the coach is the most important factor, so probably somebody should be telling Kevin Prince Boateng to listen. Also, there's been an interesting debate. Some of you say it's quite useless, that is Thomas Partey a better player than Michael Essien was? I know. Many feel it's not necessary. Many feel that it's a bit of heresy and blasphemy because Michael Essien was, something else. But Stephen Appiah has spoken about it. Lai Kingston has spoken about it. We've had some of the ex-footballers speaking about it. And we asked the coach as well. This plus his plans for the Black Stars, how COVID-19 is affecting his plans, and many more in this exclusive that was caught by my colleague Benedict Owusu. So now, let's get into it. And then when we come back, we have our own in-house analysis. We don't have a lot of time to do that, but we'll try our best. So, that's CK Akono and Benedict Owusu starting now.
Hi there, my name is Benedict Owusu. Welcome to this special interview with the Black Stars coach, CK Akono. Hi coach, good morning. Thanks so much for having us.
You're welcome.
How have you been?
I've been good. A bit of training, reading books, trying to follow what the Europeans are doing, and of course talking to one or two serious managers as far as the game of soccer is concerned. That's what I've been doing so far.
Corona has disrupted everything in the world. How has that affected you?
Well, it affected us in the way we prepare, in the way we do things. I had in mind we were going to play against Sudan.
Yeah.
So I was seriously preparing for that. I'm sure the players as well. Ghanaians were also looking forward to the match, and all of a sudden this thing happened. But it sort of put us. We first stop what we're doing, and we are following. But I think we should not allow the disease to stop us.
Yeah.
We should be in control. Even though we need to be careful, though. We'll take measures in terms of protecting yourself.
Yeah.
We don't need the disease to take over our lives. That wouldn't be fair.
You were named somewhere around January. And you had just some 2 months to prepare your team. You named your squad for that game, that doubleheader against Sudan, which unfortunately, as you mentioned, didn't happen. How eager were you to play those 2 matches?
Well, I was eager. I was eager because I was aware it's a mixture of feelings with our fans. Can he do it? Can he not do it? People were positive, and some were skeptical about what I can do, and so I was looking forward to it and to be able not to prove to them that I can do it, but also to let go of the pressure and the worries of people, and also those who were not too sure that they will be sure. So it was not in a way where I want to prove them wrong, because I have a 2-year contract. It's going to be long. So just for us to get going, and then also to refresh the minds of people in terms of positivity.
We'll come to the selection of players. What informed your decision to get in those players as well as other matters? But at the point where you came into the team as the assistant coach, did it ever occur to you that you were going to be the head coach?
Honestly, no. I knew I had to beat my time. I knew I had done a lot in getting the assistant job. Namely, I have worked for the Stars myself in Peter again as a scout. I have been close to the team. I've worked as an assistant on the 17 in Pomanso, Orlando,
under 20,
and I've coached almost a decade Ghana. People don't know that. I've been experienced to get to right to Dream Academy, to start and get to know how the youth, react and play and behave. I've been around one of the biggest coaches, biggest teams, not just in Ghana but in Africa, in Hearts of Folk, Asante Kotoko, who are being highest clubs in as far as the soccer is concerned.
And Ashanti good as well.
And of course dreams where they've laid good stretches, and they are following it. Also to learn about organization and all that, and so I have been around for a while, and I've done a lot of attachments. I've also, as much as I can, to invest in my own self. So I've been there, but this is not to say that I have arrived. I haven't.
Exactly.
I'm still learning and really listening to people who have knowledge about the game, who understands the game, in a very deep way. And so the fact that I got a job to be an assistant was a great opportunity. It's something one had wished for. And I'm most grateful to Kwesi Appiah for giving that opportunity. But of course, those who were around and also helped me when I was growing up as a coach, so to say, I'm grateful to them, and it's all been good.
So it's been a good process, I mean, in reaching where you are now. You made mention of former coach Kwesi Appiah. I mean, what kind of person was he to you?
Oh, he was a gentleman, but our combination was good. He was cool with a cool type, and I wouldn't say the rough type, but how should I say?
You have to when it's time to hit, you have to hit.
But on a serious note, I think he involved me in a lot of issues. Our preparation towards South Africa, into details. He involved me. I participated in most of the exercises that we did before the match, and in preparation. It was wonderful, and within that short period of time, I think him and the boys made me comfortable, also to understand what it is. You may work as a scout or anything, but not, when you come close to the team as a coach, it's totally different. And so for me to get that opportunity, I mean, it's very good.
So in a sense, he was a very cool person to work with.
He was. I continue to say he's a gentleman, but a very tough person. Very tough in decision making, and I know what I'm talking about. People sometimes can read wrong meaning to his quietness. And it's not. But today it's no more there, and I've had the opportunity to be the head, which is.
I mean, the day that you were informed of this opportunity, how did you take it?
You see, it wasn't. The whole thing started like a rumor. We were talking about it. And I had some meetings. I spoke to Kwesi. In that sense, what is happening, and then when it became official that I went to him to let him understand the level. I have served him. I have an opportunity, and he, I would say, blessed me for that. And till today, if I have any worry, I won't hesitate to call him.
Now you got a job. You had to bring on your backroom staff, Coach Duncan. What kind of person is he, and why that choice?
I was looking for somebody who will be able to tell me when I'm going wrong. You know what I mean? We have, like I said, I've worked close to 10 years now, and I've had assistants, coaches who not tell you when you say this, okay, when you say that, okay. So basically you don't know where you stand.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you need somebody to cover your back. Covering your back, not necessarily mean you will always, you know, rub your shoulder when you are doing wrong.
Yeah, to things.
Yeah, you know, when you are doing wrong, when you are doing right, you should be able to commend you. And when you're doing wrong, you should be able also to tell you. Not in a way we disagree and agree in a very positive. And that I was looking for that kind of person, somebody who will probably be honest, you know, God fearing as well, you know, and they fit in that. And so far, we've not had any issue.
So you are with Coach Duncan and other, you know, officials in the backroom staff. You named your first squad for the games, unfortunately, because of coronavirus didn't happen. Talking about the Sudan game, what went into, you know, the players that you called for?
Well, I had opportunity to go to Europe to, you know, look at them. Some of them I met personally, spoke to them about the way forward. Yeah. You know, and also get to know them closely. I did with the captain, but basically I looked into the performance, what they're doing, and then some of them too. You need to look at it and consider their performance with the national team has been solid, but abroad they are struggling. You know, and so I considered those criteria. You know, I considered certain things and certain areas, and brought them on board. There were new faces. Tariq Fosu was a new player, a player that I saw who was, you know, most of the European players, European-born players, who has not had a chance to come here. They're reluctant when you're talking to them, and this guy showed interest. He was so happy, and this is the kind of people who has passion for the game and passion for our country, and coming in. And so I didn't think too much. One, his performance was okay. Not necessarily he's coming to start, but he could be part of the team and also make the future very, very hopeful.
You called 4 local players: Ya Mohammed, Richard Atta of Hearts of Folk, Kuja Malcolm of Ashanti Gold, and then Habib Mohammed. I honestly do not recall the last time that a Black Stars coach called as many as 4 players. Normally it will just be a goalkeeper and 1 outfield player. I mean, this clearly, does it show that you have your eyes also here to give these guys the opportunity when, of course,
of course. You know, when I spoke about the locals being serious, consistent, this is what I mean, because I want to try as much as I can to give them a fair chance. You know, they deserve that. You know, they deserve it. Because listen, let me go back. When I was playing, I think I saw more locals than the pros. You know, when I got into the national team, I was a local player. I played regularly with the national team before I even went to Europe. So the likes of Pele, Anthony Yeboah,
then Ali
Ibrahim, Bafo, and I mean Kwame Ayew. It's over.
The rest were
home-based players. What happened? The trend has changed, you know, and I wanted to, or I want to. I want to try as much as I can to, not necessarily
bridge the gap,
but narrowing, you know, like to at least if we could even have start with 2-3 players who are starting in the first 11, it will be something. Those players we invite, most of the time they come, they don't even sit on the bench, you know, and I want to encourage them so they can, you know, so that these things they can only change it. They themselves can change it, you know. Of course, with my help as well. They also need to be encouraged, you know, in that sense. And I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to close that gap, narrow that gap, so that we'll have home-based players in the team. And when they are coming, it shouldn't be an idea of coming and just to go back. They're coming to play. That will automatically show in their training, and then you know, I really looking forward to that day.
I mentioned the names of the 4 players. Unfortunately, they also couldn't play because of coronavirus. I'm sure they called and expressed, you know, why, as some of the other players, that they were eager to play. They didn't get a chance.
They were. After the coronavirus thing happened, I've had a chance of talking to almost all of them.
Oh, that's great.
Locally and the foreign-based players. You know. It's only few that maybe I've not had even Kojo Asama, whom I was not able to speak to because of one or two issues. I had like a 45 minutes discussion with him. He was very, very open, honest, you know, a fantastic boy, very humble. You know. We spoke, and so it's all been in a good direction. Just for us to raise a team that will be hopeful, a team that we can look at for the next 2-3 years.
You look at what's been happening now since you got this job. You've not played any game yet, but when you talk to ex-players, your friends, all of them are backing you. If I want to mention names, we won't finish. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Of course, I'm proud and I'm very, very happy. I heard of even Kingston yesterday. Someone like Augustine he's been very, very supportive from day one.
Yeah.
You know, Augustine has been a good friend, not just a good friend, but somebody who has also supported me, and he would tell me, he would not shy away when I by closed doors, closed doors. You know, he would tell me where I'm wrong and where I'm right. He will encourage me, and sometimes we crack jokes. Or Sami Kufo as well. I've been to his house a couple of times too. You know, I like to listen. I'm a good listener, like I said, I've said, and so I would not feel too big going to an ordinary person who knows deep about the game, whom I believe probably will help me, you know, to grow as a coach. And so I try as much as I can to listen to all those people. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who make decisions.
So you're listening to a conversation we're having with Black Stars coach Siki Akono. I mean, he talked a lot about, you know, when he got a job, first his reaction and the unfortunate incidents of not up to now playing a first game because of coronavirus. Also the support he's received so far from the ex-players. Coach, I mean, aside the ex-players, when you walk on the streets, people talk about you. Your interaction with other people as well.
Yeah, I see. Before even I got the assistant coach job, people talk about it when they meet you, but I don't allow that to flatter me. You know, it's something that I know it could happen. As to when and how, I have no idea. Is the creator who decides these things. Talking of support, I know the maestro himself is supporting. I know Bafo is supporting. I know Kwame Ayu is very supportive of it. So there's a wave, you know, that is moving around, and it's a good one, a very positive one. What it meant that we'll have to perform and play. Once we start, then their words will manifest, and then we see what they have.
Which Ghanaians love their Black Stars, irrespective of anything that has happened previously. I mean, when you sit back, do you sometimes think about it that there's some huge pressure on you that you have to live up to the billing?
There's pressure. One can never deny that. I cannot deny that. You know, if you look at Hearts and Kotoko, there's pressure there. Kotoko, I just finished with them, and I can tell you the pressure that I had. I think I was able to deal with it in a very positive way. Why? Because I'm somebody who also picks negativity and try as much as I can to turn it into positivity. And so they were mad. They were saying, you know, the pressure will be there. But if you look at the totality of what they want sources. That is all. Once I'm able to get them that, yes, there will be one or two people, but then of course you've pleased the entire nation. What do they want? They want us to go to AFCON
and win the cup.
That is all. And once we are able to do it, there will be calmness. There will be some happening, because it's their passion. They love it. However, I want us to, you know, go accordingly.
Yeah.
It's a process, you know. And what I've noticed now, once you have a habit, it's always difficult to change a habit. If every morning I come here and sit here 6 o'clock and have my coffee, and you want to come and change it, you cannot just come and change it like that.
So the pressure will be there. People will always be calling that we go and win the tournament.
Yes, they will, but it's a process, and let us go accordingly. Let us move on with the idea that we want something. We have a target. We have to look into the deep issues, solve the deep issues, move on, and accordingly, gradually, we're able to achieve. It's a process. It's a process.
Let's look at the Ghanaian players. There are some here in Ghana, others also abroad. And you've already talked about your criteria for getting players into the team. Now, I mean, in terms of the monitoring and all, how are you going to do that?
We have 40 players on our data, you know, and I think 40 should be a good number, you know. Within the 40 we can be changing.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll keep the number 40, and then we'll be looking at it. You know, as time goes on, you know, we'll be looking at the performance, which will be the most important thing. You know, I will not call players based on their names.
Yeah.
You know, because it's Siki Akono and he's playing Manchester United, I should invite him. No, he's in Manchester United. What is he doing? Is he doing well? Is he playing? Is he really playing the second team?
Yeah.
Is he regular? Is he scoring? Okay. And then you look at somebody who is playing Asante Kotoko, and somebody who is there and not playing. It's a big challenge, a big question for me. What is he doing? And once I'm able to see that player who is doing very well, I have my imagination, I have my philosophy and what I want to do. And so it will be based on more or less performance and of course your attitude also out of the field of play.
So if I get you the 40 core that you have in your database, if some in the 40 are not performing, of course they will go out and we'll get new players.
You know, for Ghana, we have more than 10.
Yeah.
Okay. But because I'm here, we'll have a chance to see them.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll be surprised. You go somewhere like maybe Media Matakwa, and then you see a new boy, a new kid on the block, and then you pick him in.
It's good. It's good. We are talking about players. I mean, I remember your very first interaction with the media when you announced the list. A question about Kevin Prince Boateng was asked. And there's something that always comes up every year since he retired from the national team. First he came, played at the World Cup, and he cited issues of injuries and couldn't continue. He came back for the World Cup, things didn't really turn out well. Just some few days ago, I mean, he was having a chat with his brother on Instagram Live, and he mentioned that his relationship with the national team is still intact, and if possibly, who knows, maybe he can get a go again as coach of the team. You know what? if Prince Boateng is available,
why not? Why not? You see, he's played before.
Yeah.
He's done well. There were some issues. I think we can also deny that, But if he's doing well and actively playing and he's strong, very experienced player, why not? Why not? But whatever it is, I mean, I really need to talk to the FA about it, but he'll be welcome once he's
because he was suspended indefinitely and he's still not cleared that yet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's some issues which I probably cannot discuss it with you. And then but if he's interested, the other day when during the press conference, I had a chat with him. Yeah. And the story was different. And
later he came back
to say that.
And he actually wished you well, and he said you are the best man for the job.
I know that boy. I know that kid. When I was playing in Germany, I think he was then coming up.
Oh, okay.
From Berlin.
Oh, okay.
So I know him very well, and he's a very tough boy. Very, very tough.
Just
boy.
like you when you were playing.
Yeah. So why not?
Well, we'll talk more about the Black Stars, but let's focus about you. I mean, your career as a footballer started here in Ghana. Which coast team did you play?
Well, coast team, first Cosmos, Nimwa Cosmos, then I moved to Tema. I'm a Tema boy. So I started with Harbour City, then moved to Hearts Babies. I played there for a lot of years. I captained my coach team with Hearts Babies. 86, I was the coach player of the year, and then moved to Okwaru United.
Then you went to from Okwaru United.
Okwaru United, then I spent some time in Okwaru, then to Goldface.
Oh, okay.
From Goldface, I moved to Germany.
Now Ashgold. So, at what point did you move? At what age did you move out of the country?
Well, age.
You were young.
I was very young.
Wow.
I was 19.
Oh, okay. You were very fortunate.
Yeah, very fortunate. I was very, very young. So I went at a very early age. Stayed, learned the language, went to school whilst I was playing, and then from Cologne I moved to Wolfsburg, and that's where.
Then you captained the team.
I captained the team after 2 years.
Wow.
Of playing there. Captained there also 2 years, and then moved. I got injured. Then I moved to Unterhaching, and then finally to Denmark.
I'm interested in the Wolfsburg story because
at
this point it's very difficult for a black player to just go there.
You see, when I got there, my first year I struggled. I struggled not because I didn't play. I played, but they didn't really accept me.
Yeah.
Because when I was black, I had to fight. I had to fight because I quite remember deeply, and it hurt me. When I was signed from a second division to a first division team, what we call now Premier.
Yeah.
Then the big newspaper, which I would say the Daily Graphic, was a big. Charles is going to be loaned to a third division.
Wow.
And all was probably maybe racist. I took the paper and I went to the coach. I said, "Is that why you brought me here?" I showed him. He said, "Oh, no, sure." I was mad. And I'm not the type of person who I want to, I went to him straight. I went to his office and I showed him, "Is that why you brought me? If this is why you brought me, then let me go back to my column."
Wow.
He said, no, because I saw the person who wrote it. He's also a close person to the manager.
Wow.
So then I said, well, we went to training camp, everything, and then the first match I sat on the bench. Then they brought me in. That was it.
Became captain of Wolfsburg, captain of Black Stars.
Yeah.
Wow. Could you have a very wonderful story?
I'm blessed. I'm favored. It's the favor of God because somebody from Nungwa, really also how would you get to fly all the way to Germany, struggle there, and then go to a team that they were close to the eastern border, Wolfsburg.
Yeah.
It's like you do this from Wolfsburg, then you enter, and that place is dangerous.
Oh, okay.
And for me to have gone there, played, and then captain, it can only be the favor of God.
And we thank God for that. I mean, you talked about your coaching career, playing career. You played with some players in the Black Stars. I mean, if I should ask you to give me your all-time Black Stars 11,
it comes with a criteria.
Yeah.
You must be able to play very well here. AFCON, you must excel, and then Europe.
So your best 11 will be?
I'm coming.
Okay.
And out of this category, the person who really was distinguished is Abedi Pele. As a coach player, Falcons, I think he is known. I wasn't there, but you've heard it. He played very well here. He conquered Africa, and of course Europe as well. Conquered Europe.
Won the Champions League.
He will always be part of it. Kingston will be in goal.
So Richard Kingston.
And then Bayerwa, Bayerwa.
Fankamangwa.
He will be
Fankamangwa on the right.
On the right, then Zekasari. The old players must excuse me. I'm doing this from the 90s.
Exactly.
Because I didn't say.
No, we can't do it for every generation. If I were to even give my best 11, I'm not sure it will be from 1956 up till now.
And so I didn't see majority of them
exactly.
So they should excuse me, pardon me. And so Azekasari as left back.
Yeah, left back.
Then Kufuor,
Ose Kufuor
is and then Frimpong Manso.
Okay, we'll partner
who always gave me knock in the national team. And then of course Steven Appiah and Asian. You can't do that. were the people who, from the next generation, they took over and they made Ghana proud. Also, they performed very, very well.
We talked about Maestro.
Yeah, Maestro, Mohamed Polo, Asamoah Gyan, and Anthony Yeboah.
So Maestro will be your captain?
Of course. Hey. What kind of question is that? What kind of question? After me, I'll be the number 12.
You'll be the number 12.
I always say that. And you don't try to change it. When you bring me in, I'll score. So I'm a guy.
So part of the staff.
I'm in fact, the first up.
Wow. Coach, what were you not able to win the AFCON during your time?
A lot of factors. You know, some of them I may not be able to say because of, you know, the way it will probably come out. You know, our people. It's got something to do with playing body management and the psyche of exactly what we want. Now, if I say the psyche is wrong, of exactly what we want. For instance, I strongly believe that if you do prepare very well before you carry it on the field of play, you're likely to be successful. 60% you can get it. The rest can be done by the players and then whatever. But we don't really prepare well. Every time there has been issues. It's just the last 5 years, or probably maybe from Nyantichi's era. I saw that there's been it's well been done. You know, I remember when I came here 2008, I was shocked what I saw. You know, so we didn't do that very well. You saw how we prepared, like I made mention of Nyantichi. When they came, what they changed, we went to the World Cup straight. We are a strong nation. We're, you know, a football nation. We're very good. If we prepare very well, we're likely to get a good result. Don't forget, within this period of time that we've not won the AFCON, like you asked, we've been to the finals maybe twice or three times.
Yeah.
So we're not far from there.
I mean, in recent times, twice.
Yeah, you know, we're not far from there. We need to prepare before we carry it on the field of play. Germans were an example in Brazil.
Yeah.
You saw what they did. They had their own town. This thing was done before they can, and then when they went there, it was done. Nowadays, football is more
about preparation.
And we don't prepare well. And then, of course, we must draw the line between the player, the playing body, and mind, whereby they say, this is what we have, this is what we can give. You know what I mean? Even if the players know how much is coming in, it does not mean they should get everything. But it's about communication. Once you communicate with them in secret, gentlemen, we do this, we do that, this is what we want, this is what we can give, this is a done deal. Before I don't want a situation where, honestly, I don't want a situation where we'll be going to AFCON, and the AFCON, we are still going to talk about money. We don't want that. I have experienced that when we hosted the AFCON with Nigeria here.
2000.
We were playing our match, I think on Saturday or Friday. A day before a match, I was in the minister's office talking about money. I had a poor performance ever. I played 4 AFCONs. And that was my worst. You know, so football needs to prepare itself.
Exactly.
Before you go in there, else you fail.
Yeah. Now, thank God you are the head coach. So some of these things will be addressed. I mean, we are gradually coming to the end of our conversation, and you said quite a lot of things. Now, we've talked about preparations, we've talked about the psyche and the things that you want to do going forward. I want to find out from you, what would be your identity on our national team, that when we see, it just will come straight to mind that, oh, that's Siki Akonosti. Because at Asante Kodoko, you could tell that that's Siki Akonosti.
Okay, so this is what I've done in the past few years, and a lot of people will not want me to say it, but it's a fact. You know, I have tried to watch the 78 squad, how they played. I asked myself, obviously it's in the old-fashioned way, Players are allowed to do anything they want to do, but we were free with the ball. We were comfortable with the ball. You know what I mean? I don't want us to adopt too much of European style of play. A little bit of that, a little bit of African play, and a little bit of seriousness.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, we will not be a team that will be kicking the ball around just like that. We will play, and that's what I want. That has been my philosophy since I started coaching.
Coach, some of us believe in you, and we know very well that the next time we'll be having a conversation like this, possibly we'll be talking about you winning the AFCON. And you know, there's something that people always say, that CK Jenfi won the AFCON Cup of Nations. So possibly maybe it's time for CK AFCON, another CK to win the country's long way for the title.
Maybe I'm strongly want to move on carefully. I want us to prepare ourselves. You know, for instance, how we even do our collapse.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, the local national team.
Yeah.
The Black Stars B. The Black Stars B.
Yeah.
We should strengthen the regions, whereby we can pick. You know, or we say northern sector, southern sector. We should, after the league itself, if we could be able to play those kind of tournaments, that is where we can even get the under 17s. You know, nowadays they are asking their coach to travel all the way. No, if we could strengthen the regions to play their own thing, the coach goes and pick.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to go and do a justify
exactly
in the region and then move here to another region. Let them have a team. Northern region has its own team. Certain Northern region, and then Greater Accra region, whatever. You know what I mean? And then they play. Out of that, we can pick the teams.
Yeah.
With the premium teams, the Northern sector, Southern sector, we play.
Yeah.
Out of that, we can play. Then it makes things easier. You know, we should rather strengthen those areas for them to do more than they are doing now, and that will eventually affect them by picking.
Yeah, and you recently also talked about sharing of ideas between the national team coaches.
Exactly. We have to change the way we do things. You know what I mean? But the situation is, do we all agree on that? One may say, well, what is he talking about? You know, that is the right way to go. So that even if I see today there's under 20 playing, and I come and see I watch the match and I'm happy with one of the players, I should be able to invite the player.
Exactly.
And when he's coming, he knows exactly what we are playing the same style of play. So he knows how to move.
But that was the case some time back. So we have to bring it back.
It also has something to do with the way, the trend of coaches that we brought on board. You know, some of them probably have not shown that interest in that area. You know, they come in to do their job and it's done. And it's eventually affect us as a nation.
Coach, one final question. I mean, there's this trending issue about a comparison between Mike Essien and Thomas Partey.
No.
I don't know if you saw something like that.
No. There are two different people.
Yeah.
Michael is a box-to-box player, and Partey has the flair, the ability to look at one side and give a pass. So he has it. Essien doesn't have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you can't compare the two. But they are all midfield players with different kind of style. And of course, the way Essien plays, Partey cannot play like that. The way Partey plays, Essien cannot play like that. So they are two different players. And of course, the teams they play. You know, you look at Atletico Madrid, for instance. Let's assume Essien is active, playing now. If Partey comes to Chelsea, it is possible he will struggle. If Essien goes to Atletico, it's possible he will struggle because of the style of play. And so, when you go in for a player, you must know what you want and how you want it.
Coach, thank you so much for your time today. But just before we go, this is your camera. I mean, say something to the fans out there, the CK Akono fans, the many Ghanaians that are watching you now. I know every Ghanaian is a coach. Every Ghanaian loves football. So just say something to them.
Listen, I'm so grateful for your support. This is us. This is not CK Akono's team. It's our national team. And I'm pleading with each and every one of you to support. Give us any support we need. Keep on praying. And don't forget to wash your hands and use a mask.
Yeah, very important.
On your face.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Joy 99.7 FM.
And yes, 25 years of media excellence, 25 years of broadcasting. That exclusive interview with Benedict Owusu is CK Akuno's first interview with the media since he full-length interview with the media since he got the job. My guys are here. We don't have to say much. I mean, you're just going to wrang their tongues around it. But the key point, if you missed the interview, first of all, I should say that interview, obviously this is the radio version, the television version will air in 5 minutes. DSTV channel 421, DSTV channel 421. We are free to air on the Joy News channel. If you can't get the Joy News channel on your digital television, please start rescanning now, and then you can get the Joy News channel. It's airing in 5 minutes. So these are the key points of the interview. He says that the coronavirus should not stop life. Life must go on, and at a point, he would, try to get the Black Stars things working again. He also spoke about local players, locally based players. He admonished them to change the narrative of coming to the national team to make up the numbers. He says, with my help, we can change that. They should come with the desire to play. He says there's been a wave of support from ex-national team players since he got the job, and from a lot of people. He's excited, and it's now up to him and the team to do well. He also says that his Black Stars should be expected to have a core group of 40 players, and he'll be keeping an eye on local players, locally based players as well. He touched on Kevin Prince Boateng, who has said last Thursday that he would like to play for the Black Stars again. CK says that if Kevin is available, why not? If he's doing well and actively playing, why not? He needs to speak to the FA to sort out all that issue of the suspension, but reiterated the fact that Kevin Prince Boateng is welcome. He also says he will not call players based on their names. So these are some of the key points from the 37-minute interview. Muftar, let me give you a first crack.
Good conversation with Benedict. The perfect questions to ask when you have the right man. One key area I showed so much interest on was what the team should look like.
Yeah.
When we see the team, we should be able to identify the fingerprints of CK Akuno on that national team, and I think that that's the most important thing. Everyone sees the Spanish national team and goes like, this is Spain. When we see the German national team, we say this is the German machine. So why is that when we see the Black Stars, we cannot have a specific fingerprint identifying the kind of national team we are? So I think that per what we saw at Kumasi Asante Kotoko when he took over the team for just 8 months, and within those 8 months he was able to place his fingerprint on that team. I think that with 2 years, 3 years handed to him to lead the senior national team, we should have a national team that have a specific identity, and we can say this is the CK Akuno's team.
Nice one. George?
Yeah, I think he made a fantastic point about wanting to have all the national team coaches work together. That, I think, is a big problem for us. And the 20 coach decides what to do, and that's it. And the 17 coach decides how to play and plays. The senior national team is also doing something else, and the 23 is doing something. I think that we need to come together, and it's a fantastic point. I'm sure this is going to be sent to the Ghana Football Association. They have to look at it, because once we have all the coaches on the same wavelength, it means that we can decide how to play, and everyone is there to understand what we want to do. I think for most of the established football countries, we've realized that there is a system that a coach is inducted into. In Ghana, it is a coach who decides how a national team should play, and we must stop. So you can see an under-17 team passing the ball. You see the under-23 team so defensive. Then you see the
ballooning the ball.
Then you see the national team doing some mix. Their play all formations. I think we need to organize this, come together, and decide how we want our football to look like. Because once the national teams are all the same wavelength, it means that the clubs will follow, and you start producing players of a certain ilk, and it helps us. So I think we need to look at that, Gary.
Of a certain ilk, George said. This is the man who was accusing me of doing Brovy on Friday.
No, but you didn't know.
Anyway, great interview.
But really, really good interview.
Oh, yeah, really good interview. Don Benedict.
Before we go off, should we just announce that the UK Prime Minister have announced football will return on June?
Yes. I just saw it on my feed. So the British government have given the green light for the Premier League to start next month. It follows yesterday's Downing Street press conference where the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, said essentially that certain categories of workers are strongly encouraged to work from Wednesday.
That's right.
So the Premier League can begin. Interesting. Football will start coming back pretty soon. And thank you guys, George.
Our interview is also live at My Joy Online. My Joy Online. Just go hit that TV, the media site. Go to TV. And then you can watch the TV interview of CK Akono.
Right now. Yes. So you can go and watch the CK Akono interview on TV right now on myjoyonline.com. On Google, you can just Google My Joy Online Tube. It will come. Gary L. Smith here, signing off on the Joy Sports track and signing in Komla Adom with the news at 2.